Cartier ketchup, last name ketchup. Do you smell what Cartier is cooking? And today I got some new, hot off the press. Our boy Michael Franzese again, talking about how he even survived the mafia life. I've been asking this question, so we're gonna get into it. So if you're new, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and join the ride.
Having spent over 20 years as a mobster, I should either be dead or in prison for the rest of my life. That's what I deserved, probably what I earned. But for some reason I'm not, and I know why.
Okay, 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 okay. I don't know why this beat goes so hard.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody's doing well. Month of December, get into the Christmas spirit, holiday season. I know we're going through some lockdowns and shutdowns and quarantines, but hey, gotta do the best we can. Gotta plow through it and make a strong finish till the end of the year.
Facts.
You know, again, looking at so many comments and questions that I get from all of you and getting to know what my viewers really want to hear from me. And I know it's the mob stuff. I get it. You want to hear mob stories. There's some of you that are hardcore mob enthusiasts, I would call you, and you want to hear everything there is to know about the mob. Well, I give you as much as I can in the time that I spent there. At some point in time, you can only tell those stories so much, and I'm going to recommend that you go to...
Before you have to switch it to something else, Sometimes it got to be that way.
Hey. Sammy Gravano's channel, too. New guy on the scene here as far as YouTube, and he's telling some great stories. People are enjoying it, and I have no problem. There's plenty of room for everybody here. And I'll continue that because my perspective in life is largely built around the time that I spent in that life. Obviously, it's a big influence on me. And, I have a book coming out called Mafia Democracy, and it's going to be showing you how our government today is operating under an ideology very similar to the ideology we had in Operation on the Street. You're going to see that. It's going to be a very eye-opening book, I promise you that. I'm going to do something today I haven't done before.
Very eye-opening, huh? I think I might have to cop me one. Is it on Amazon? If it's on Amazon, Mike Franzese, let me know so I can go ahead and cop that.
And I'm going to read you some things out of my book that was written in 2003 called Blood Covenant. And it's been around for a long time. And, they're doing a television series on it right now. We spoke about in another video. But the reason I'm going to read from it, because people ask me all the time, Michael, how are you still alive?
That's what I'm
Is the mob dead? Is that why you're still alive? The mob is not dead. How did you escape that? Did you really cooperate with the government? What's really going on? We don't understand it. So many people don't understand it. How I've managed to be alive and free and talk about the life the way I do, which some people say is a betrayal of the oath. I guess in some ways it is. But understand this, people. There has been so much information that the government and the world has obtained through video surveillance, through wiretaps, through informants, that, my talking about the life, I don't think is any serious issue
only
to
a little
anybody at this point in time. Some people don't like it. I hear rumblings out of, Brooklyn at times and so on and so forth. But hey, you got to live your life. You got to do what you think is the right thing to do. And that's what I'm doing. So how am I still alive? Number one question, I've been speaking for 25 years. It's the number one question I get all the time, aside from, Michael, where's all your money buried? And where's Jimmy Hoffa buried? Those are the three top questions wherever I go, just about every single time. You can write it down beforehand, you'll be correct. But I want to read something today because you know what? It is very significant that I am alive and free and able to talk to you the way I am right now. And it's no minor miracle, and I'm not calling myself a miracle, but I've gone through some struggles and challenges, and most people believe that I wouldn't be sitting where I am today. Let me read something right out of my book. These are direct quotes. If he holds to what he has promised, it will mark the first time that a high-ranking member of the Mafia will publicly walk away from his past and live. That was in Life magazine, 1987. I wouldn't want to be in Michael Franzese's shoes. I don't think his life expectancy is very substantial. That's Edward McDonald. He's the former attorney in charge of the Organized Crime Strike Force, the Eastern District of New York. He was my prosecutor that sent me away to prison for 10 years. He was also Henry Hill's.
Well, well, well. Look what we have here. Attorney at large that says, hey, his life ain't gonna go past 30. But we here now in 2020, and Michael Franzese is still kicking and moving. How do you feel, idiot?
Prosecutor, he played himself in Goodfellas, now in private practice, but that's what he had to say. Continuing, Michael Franzese has a lot to pray for. Before he was born again, he was a family man. The family was the Colombo crime family, and Michael Franzese was a captain, caporegime, one of the richest and most powerful men in the mob. And that was said by Bernie Goldberg on 48 Hours. Remember the CBS News show back in May of 1991,
Dang.
almost 20 years ago. Moving on, within a decade, Franzese had become one of the biggest earners the mob had seen since Al Capone, and the youngest individual in Fortune magazine's survey of the 50 biggest mafia bosses. That was written by Frederick Dannon in Vanity Fair in February of 19.
I'm sorry, my guy. I didn't know you was that guy. That guy. Oh. I'm sorry.
1991. Bernie Welsh, retired
I'm
FBI
sorry.
organized crime expert and legendary mob hunter, said this back in the early 90s. He will get whacked. I think you know what that means in mob terms. And my mother, God rest her soul, Christina Franzese, she shortly after she heard that made this statement to the press: I pray for my son Michael every night. These were all said and put in this book back in the early 90s, and when it became public that I was walking away from that life. And people, I didn't have it easy. It was a struggle, it was a challenge, as you know. My father did some things that I believe were a betrayal. I will justify in part what he did because it was believed at that time that I was going to become a major witness, cooperate with the government, go into the witness protection program, start, telling stories on people. That never happened. But during the time that people thought it would happen, because the government was leading people to believe that,
Because the government is a dirty, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing about the government. We all know what the government is. We all know how the government operates. I ain't gonna speak on it.
my father was put in a position, and he went along with a contract on my life. There's no doubt about it. I'm sure of that. But I understand. I give my dad grace in that regard because I understand his mentality. And had I proceeded to do what my brother did later on, even though my brother wasn't a made guy, it would have been a real problem. And no doubt about it, might have been a problem for him. So we had a lot of struggles and challenges. My former boss, Carmine Persico, took it very, very personal when I walked away. He was very upset. He and I, we had a thing going on together, both financially, and he looked at it as a real betrayal, and he thought, he certainly had exposure if I were to become a major witness and start talking about the family. So immediate contract on my life. His son, Allie Boy, followed through. I had a lot of trouble, no doubt about it. But I understood when I took my plea for a 10-year prison sentence, $15 million restitution, I had planned at that time, and by the way, there was no cooperation attached to that plea at all, none. So I heard there was some rumbling on the internet that was a cooperation agreement. Absolutely not. It's a matter of public record. I took a plea, 10-year prison sentence, $15 million restitution, went off to do my time. Married my current wife.
10 years. 15 million? $15 million though. That's a lot of bread.
Camille, we've been married for 35 years. And my plan at that point in time was to do my time, get out on parole, move out to California, get away from everybody. Figured they knew that I was on parole. After 10 or 12 years, they'd forget about me. I'd live happily ever after out in California. Why did I do that? Because I knew the life was in jeopardy. A lot of people were becoming informants. The Racketeering Act was running havoc on people, and I knew that I wouldn't last in that life. I was too high profile. I had already been indicted 6 times. Federal racketeering case that I beat with Rudy Giuliani. I'm repeating some of this, but there's a lot of people that are just tuning in. All right, so I knew the life was over. People were becoming informant left and right, and we were in trouble.
People would just becoming rats and trying to eat cheese. 6ix9ine.
So I used this as an escape plan. I'm going to preserve my life. I watched my family life go down the tubes. My mother without a husband, my brother a drug addict, my sister dies of an overdose, my father 40 years in prison. I didn't want that for my family. That was the bottom line. That was my total motivation for walking away from the life. I want you to understand that. So
Good
now
for
I
you,
get out,
Mike.
I'm on parole, a lot of trouble. But what did I do? Here was my plan. I moved out of New York. I would have never made it in New York. Let's face it, you know, one of the horrors of that life, you're in trouble, your best friend walks into a room, you don't walk out again. Described that in prior videos, you know the story.
Facts.
So here's what I do. Move out to California. It's one thing, obviously, to walk somebody into a room and do damage. It's another thing to send a hit squad across the country, try to find somebody that's aware of what's going on, you know, put a hit on him and then get away with it. Because remember, you go away for life, you know, for murder. That's the deal. So it's a little bit more difficult when you're planning something like that.
That's crazy.
So what did I do? Change my entire lifestyle. What do I mean by that? Remember, I was aware of this. 25 years in that life, you know, a long time, my father's son, I was aware. So what did I do? Change my whole lifestyle. What do I mean by that? I didn't go and create patterns in my life. I didn't go to the same restaurant every Tuesday night. I didn't walk my dog at the same time every morning. I didn't do things where people, if they were surveilling or following me, they could say, hey, he's got a routine and we can plan around that routine. I'm very...
Oh, you a smart man. You is smart. Oh, this man is smart. Put it in the comment section. My man's smart. That boy said, I ain't even gonna do the same routine. I'm gonna do it at a different time. What time I walk the dog? 9 a.m. I'm gonna walk him tomorrow around 2 p.m.
very aware of that. Remember, I was a soldier and a captain in that life. I know the way things work. I don't talk about stuff like that. Why? I don't have immunity. I didn't make any deal in that regard. Other people can talk about it. I can. I'm not admitting to anything, but I'm just telling you, there's no reason for me to talk about things that don't make sense at this point in time. So, change my entire lifestyle around. That was it. The Norby Walters thing. I did my time, the Norby Walters thing. I was subpoenaed in that case. And all I'll say, I said this 5 times, I'm getting so tired of saying it, but I'll say it again. Norby never did 1 day in prison. I don't think he did 1 hour in prison. Knew what I was doing back then. That's all I'm going to tell you. And that was it, people. Yeah, did I talk to the government? Yeah, of course I did. Did I put people in trouble? No, I did not. That's it. So, but I'll tell you why I think I'm alive and free. And this may be offensive to some of you, and some of you, oh, so Michael, the God thing, we didn't come on this channel to hear preaching. I get that. But you know what? It's part of my life, people. It's what I believe. And there has to be something to it. You know, I was sitting in a courtroom when my dad was on trial, I think 10 years ago, when my brother testified against him. A fellow by the name of Jerry Capisi, famous organized crime journalist, media guy, ganglandnews.com. You can go on his website. He's the expert when it comes to organized crime, especially in New York. He's sitting behind me in the courtroom. I was there to support my dad. He's sitting behind me in the courtroom. And he said to me, Michael, you got to come outside. I got to talk to you. I said, what's the matter? He said, come on outside. He said, I don't get it. You're sitting here publicly in the courtroom. You renounced that life. There was a hit on you. How are you doing this? Tell me, what's going on? Did you pay people off? No, I didn't pay people off. I said, Jerry, you know the life better than that. If I'd have paid them off, they'd have taken my money and done away with me anyway. You know that, so come on. I said, maybe there's something to it. Maybe God did have a different plan and a purpose for me in my life. I totally believe that. You people shouldn't knock that. That's my belief. If you say I'm wrong.
I for sure don't knock that because, like, there's certain things that happen in your life, and this goes with me too. There's certain things that happen in your life where you feel like this can't be natural. It has to be from the man upstairs. It has to be from Yahweh. So I believe everything he said with that. Hey, sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes God just takes you on a different path and puts you on something that's even better than the path that you were walking on before. But that's all the preach I'm doing today.
That's one thing. If you disagree with my beliefs, that's another thing. I got a beautiful, beautiful message from a Muslim brother, and I do call him a Muslim brother. We're all brothers and sisters in some way, shape, or form on this earth. That's the way it is.
Facts.
But he said to me, Michael, you know, he was trying to explain to me what the Muslim faith, Islam, was all about, and I appreciated that. I've looked into it. And he said, we don't share the same faith. We'd love for you to look into my belief, but I respect you and I love what you're doing. And it was just such a nice, warm message from somebody that disagreed with the beliefs that I have, but understood and was respectful enough to say, you know what? I respect your beliefs. And I think we should all be that way about one another. We all have different beliefs.
Facts. We all have different beliefs. We all share different values, different aspirations of how we moving in life, how we talking and walking, how we interact with our close associates, close relatives, close friends. But at the end of the day, we still share the same blood. So, hey, he's on it, bro.
You know, there's a lot of different faiths that exist in the world. I don't know how many, but there are a lot. And there's some people that have no faith at all. They're atheists. They don't believe in God. But you know what? That's okay. If that's the way you feel you want to live your life, I disagree. I wish that, you know, I could talk to you more and maybe make you understand that there is more to life, that there is a God, that I do believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for all of us, for the Savior of all sins. I believe that with all my heart. I've seen what he's done in my life, and I've experienced what he's done in other people's lives. And for me, it's real. It's real. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. You know, some people have got, man, you know, you believe in that fairy tale in the sky. I don't believe in any fairy tale in the sky. Let me tell you some people, I'm a very down-to-earth guy. So I believe with all my heart, God has had a different plan and a purpose for me. Look, I've been all over the world. I've been giving my testimony, sharing with people all over the world. I've had a change of heart. You know, I've been trying to help people. I visit prisons all the time. I speak to young people all the time. I try to keep them out of trouble. I've been doing that for 25 years. You know, I have a ministry that I never solicited a donation for. I do this myself. Yeah, when people bring me in, you know, they take care of me, but I do it myself. I'm not looking for anything for anybody because I believe that I've been given a lot and I want to give back. So that's it, people. So again, this is a short one. I'm not, you know.
And that's the end of the video. I know that the picture done froze, but yeah, bro. Like Michael Franzese, everything that he's been saying is true. I believe in that. I believe in the word of Yahweh. I believe in His Son, Yahshua. Everything that he's saying is true. So with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all already know. Subscribe if you're new. I'm always coming out with reaction videos. I'm going to get back consistent. And we're going to keep it going. So thank y'all. Pray many blessings over y'all. And you already know what we say. I pray for your success like you pray for mine.